This is Nikola Tesla's final warning. The hidden war between your frequency and their attempts to control it. So, what if they silenced Nikola Tesla on purpose? What if he wasn't just a genius inventor? What if he was a prophet of a reality so powerful that it actually threatened everything we thought we knew about reality? A man who didn't just play with electricity, he discovered the source code of the universe: frequency, vibration, and energy. And he warned us, whoever controls these things controls reality itself. But his warning was buried. It was twisted, it was silenced, and it was for a very specific reason. Because Tesla didn't just stumble on new technology. He unlocked a weapon, a spiritual, energetic weapon that could free every person on Earth and that made him very dangerous. And today, we're going to decode what he tried to tell us, his final warning, and the war that followed. Most importantly, I'm going to show you exactly how you can free your mind and how you can use these energetic codes of the universe to control your own future. This is Tesla's final warning. And it was never just about science. It was about consciousness, energy, and your own future. By now, we all know Tesla wasn't a normal inventor. And in a minute, you're going to see why his strangest discovery is actually pulsing through your own nervous system, waiting for you to turn it on. He actually said that he received downloads of ideas fully complete and formed in his mind. He said that he could see energy patterns in the air, waves, fields, and frequencies. And the most, he was crazy. He was strange. He was obsessive. But to those who understood, he was terrifyingly ahead of his time. And maybe that's something deeper than what we've been told. He said that if you want to understand the secrets of the universe, you have to think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. And Tesla believed that everything was a frequency. So health is just a matter of tuning your body to the right vibration. Disease is a distortion of the natural energy field of your body. And manifestation is just matching the frequency of what you desire. But what happens when you tune to the wrong frequency? The answer will actually solve all of your problems, your struggles in your life. And I'm going to reveal that in just a moment. Now, Tesla was building machines to prove these theories. And it all starts when he was a kid. He had a cat. And when he would rub his cat's fur, he could see the electricity sparking off his cat and off of his hands. And later he would picture think. So what he would do is when he'd get inventions, he would see them in 360-degree circulations in his own mind down to the very last screw. So if you picture your own goal right now, spinning the exact same way, perhaps there's something more going on that has to do with a couple terms that Tesla talked about that we're going to be diving into. Now, he was building all types of things, right? You've heard about his free energy devices. You've heard about how he was building tower systems to tap into the Earth's ionosphere. But it wasn't just about electricity. He was trying to transmit information, energy, and consciousness. And according to his notes, he actually succeeded. Now, get this. He writes in his notes that he recorded 3 rhythmic signals originating from another planet. And these pulses were so strong that they were shaking his hands. Now, if energy signals can leap across space and time, what about the thoughts in your head right now? Can they actually exert a force that can leap across space and time and change your reality? And really, truth is stranger than fiction. Tesla really believed there was a universal language, and that universal language was encoded in vibration. So this is the key. This isn't about machines. He was building a map to understanding how reality works so that you could shift your frequency in your own future. But once they knew that Tesla was onto something much deeper, that's when the dark forces really started their battle to control human consciousness, right? Tesla wanted to give world free energy, wireless, boundless power that was just all over the world. And that was his Wardenclyffe Tower, this big 190-foot transmitter that could receive and transmit wireless energy. He called it the World Wireless System. And I want you to keep that phrase in your mind, because in a few minutes, you're going to see that the World Wireless System that Tesla was speaking about, it's not just a technology for inventions. It's actually a spiritual technology. It's a living vibrational field of possibilities that is humming like right around your head, and you can plug your intentions into it. And once you know how to plug your intentions into it, you can begin to control your reality with more accuracy than you have ever been led to believe. I'm talking about using the World Wireless System to control your bank account, your relationships, your career. It's all within this cosmic wireless system, and Tesla showed us how to connect with it. He was envisioning a world that was powered by infinite energy, right? No power lines, no oil, no control grids, just pure frequency that was wirelessly transmitted. But the reason that this has all been kept secret for so long is because it points to something that really is reality shattering. I mean, just to bring this back to you, just picture connecting to the universal wireless system where all your desires are like wireless internet networks, and you can connect into and stream them as a reality the same way your music streams on your phone. No cords, no gatekeepers, just about resonance of vibrational frequencies. But there was a pretty big problem for Tesla. Billionaire JP Morgan, who was funding Tesla's work, he realized something. You can't put a meter on free energy, so you can't charge people for it. And that means you can't profit from it. So JP Morgan evidently scribbled on Tesla's blueprint, and he's like, where do you put the meter? Now, of course, once he realized this, he stopped funding it. But here's the thing. Later, you're going to see there's even an invisible meter that is still taxing your own energy. It's keeping you stuck within a controlled range of consciousness that is blocking you from attracting what you want. And you're going to see a simple shift that unlocks you from their game. Now, before we get into that good stuff, it does get a bit more dark and frightening, because once JP Morgan realized that, not only did Tesla's funding get stopped, but then his lab mysteriously burned to the ground in the late 1800s. Tons of his prototypes, his research, his notes, and it was all gone. And then a whole bunch of smear campaigns. The newspaper mocked him. He went from being on the cover of Time magazine to being ridiculed. And now they're like, this guy that they called a genius is now a freak. So what if this was actually just a coordinated effort to erase this threat? A threat that actually challenges every belief system that you have about reality. That you can actually generate reality yourself. Because if you can generate energy from thin air, you're not just disrupting the power industry, you're disrupting every system of control. And if you can generate confidence and clarity and cash flow from the quantum field around you, whose rules actually apply? And that's why they made him public enemy number one. So keep watching, because in a moment, I'm going to show you exactly how to do your own mini Tesla experiment so you can see what happens when you connect with the universal wireless network. But if you are still not convinced that there is a hidden war that has been waging over your frequency and consciousness, all you need to understand is the subconscious mind. Think about how many people don't believe they're good enough. They don't believe they're smart enough. They believe that they're unworthy. We're filled, since the time we're little kids, with so much baggage. And this baggage keeps us trapped. 9 out of 10 people die with less than $10,000 and virtually no financial assets. Like 80% of people are living not only paycheck to paycheck, but they're in credit card debt just to live. So many people are left unfulfilled and unhappy. And the only reason is because of this hidden war that has infiltrated your subconscious. And I have a free Success Hypnosis MP3 to reprogram your subconscious mind. The cool thing is that Stanford University did a study, and they found that you have 60 to 65,000 thoughts subconsciously every day. This is controlling your reality. It's controlling how much money you make, the decisions you make, the people you attract in, your relationships, your love life, your health. And we don't even realize it. Now, what they found is that you can actually use repetition, constant spaced repetition, which is just the same way, constant spaced repetition. If you and me are sitting in the car and I play Old MacDonald Had a Farm 100 times in the car, constant spaced repetition, Old MacDonald had a farm, it's going to get stuck in your head, right? Well, the same thing works with reprogramming your subconscious. And I have a free Success Hypnosis. About 1 million people from all over the world have used it. Every day I get these epic stories of people who attract money out of nowhere. They get a job out of nowhere. They end up meeting their soulmate out of nowhere. Because once you reprogram the subconscious, you free yourself. It's free. It's jakeshypnosis.com if you click right here, or you can go to the link in the description and pin to the comments right there down below. It's jakeshypnosis.com. All you got to do is listen to it for a couple minutes every day. You don't have to do anything, just listen to it. And your subconscious will take over, because your subconscious is the most powerful technology in the universe, and it works independent of your conscious effort. And once your subconscious is programmed for wealth and success and love, your subconscious will start bending reality without your conscious effort. And this is the quickest, the fastest, it's the easiest way to do it. It's jakeshypnosis.com and it's free. So now let's talk about how we do it, right? Because Tesla was really building an awareness prototype. He was building technologies, but they tap into something deeper, the same way that you can tap into different radio stations by tuning the frequency. You can shift your realities using your thoughts, your beliefs, and your emotions. And that's really the essence of manifestation. Is thought is frequency, emotion is the amplification of that frequency. And then your identity or your self-image is how you stabilize it. So that's the antenna. And when you do this correctly, reality bends to your signal. And Tesla was hinting at this stuff over and over. He said, my brain is only a receiver. In the universe, there is a core from which we obtain knowledge, strength, and inspiration. He's saying that your brain is really like that antenna. Now, the Schumann pulse resonance on Earth, it is really vibrating at the same type of theta brainwave frequencies that when you tap into, you are in a state of flow, right? We hear the term flow state. And when you can get into this state, this is really the doorway to the universal wireless grid. Now, in addition to that, we talked about how Tesla used 3D mental modeling, where what he would do is he would get the exact prototypes in his head, and he would spin them in his head down to the last screw to build the image accurately first. And I'm going to show you in a simple technique how you can apply all of this so that you can elevate your consciousness and tap into this universal wireless network to start to shift your reality. Step number 1 is to just get in a coherence with your breath, in a rhythm with your breath. So you can inhale for 5 seconds, exhale for 5, and just keep a nice flow like that. And you want to bring your awareness down into your heart. The Heart Math Institute did a study where they found when you bring your attention into your heart, you can actually create a coherence between your brain waves and your heart waves. And when you do that, you're syncing your energy fields, so to speak. So the easiest way to do this is just simple rhythmic breathing. Breathing in, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I like to hold at the top of my breath. And the reason I do that is because when you hold it at the top and the bottom of your breath, you can really feel the energy. And then when you exhale, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And as you're doing that, just bring your hand to your heart so you can bring your awareness to your heart so you can start to activate the electromagnetic field of your heart as you're doing it. And you just keep that rhythmic breath until you really start to feel in touch with your own frequency. You start to notice that sensation. Step number 2 is to lock in the Schumann pulse resonance. What I do is my success hypnosis I designed at a theta brainwave state. So you can get that for free. It's jakeshypnosis.com. You can click right there, get it in link in the description down below, where you can just use some natural sounds. It could be the ocean. You could get a recording of the ocean or birds, something that has a genuinely natural flow or a natural feel. And that's just going to allow your brain waves to start to sync with their own natural rhythm. And it gets it out of that frenetic state that we get in throughout the day that is really moving us in a more frenetic, boop, 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 that type of quicker beats. And we want to bring that down into a theta type of brainwave state because that pushes the conscious mind out of the way. It gives us direct access to the subconscious mind. Now, step number 3 is Tesla's 3-dimensional construct. Now, just as Tesla was mentally rotating these images, what you're going to do is create a fully rendered 3D scene of your future. The color, the weight, the feel, the smell, the sound, the people, the faces, all of it. And once you build that, you want to inspect it closely. This is what's really going to tie all the neural networks of your brain into the equation. Now, as you're doing this, once you build the picture, like for example, it could be of you holding a check of the amount of money that you want. It could be you holding the key to your dream house, just right in your fingertips. And you just see that key spinning until it's a fully formed, real, third-dimensional picture. Now, as you're doing this, once you build that picture, you don't want it to stay as just a picture. You want to actually enter the scene of it. So you don't want to be as if you're sitting in a chair watching a movie playing. You want to enter the scene. And the way that you enter the scene is, what does it sound like? Can you hear your voice? Can you hear the voice of others? What does it feel like? What does it smell like? What are you doing in that moment? What's your facial expressions like? These types of micro details are what enhance the sensations, the feelings, the emotions. Now, emotion is energy in motion. It's conscious awareness of your own vibration. So when you build the 3D picture and then you practice the feelings, all you're actually doing is enhancing your own frequency pattern. You are solidifying the frequency. And once you solidify the frequency, that's how you can properly transmit it to the universal wireless network. Now, step number 4 is to broadcast it. Once you get in that flow, on a deep inhale and exhale, just say transmitting over and over. Transmitting, transmitting, transmitting. This is really like a conscious instruction to your subconscious mind to actually transmit the broadcast. You do this once you really get in touch with the feeling and the emotion. Once you are there, it's similar to when you're dialing a phone number, first you have to dial the correct frequency, then you can press send. You are dialing the correct frequency, and once you have gotten in touch with that frequency, then you can press send, and you just repeat transmitting, transmitting, transmitting. Understanding that, as Tesla said, your brain and really how all of reality works is through receiving and transmitting of energy, receiving and transmitting of frequency, receiving and transmitting of information. So all reality really is similar to a cell phone. Every single reality is like its own phone number with a distinct frequency. And if you can correctly dial the frequency that you desire, you can shift timelines. And when you move through this process, what you're really doing is you are sending the information, you are sending the signal, or you are dialing the frequency to the universal Wi-Fi network. Now, the last step is one of the most important, and that is to log the synchronicities. Once you do this, you have successfully sent instructions. You have successfully called the frequency. And in the same way that if you call someone and they don't answer, you're going to get a call back, right? Well, when you make a call like this, you are going to get a call back, but the call back is going to come in the form of distorted pictures, distorted events, meaning that your outer world is going to start to slowly shift to match the frequency that you dialed. Now, what Tesla would do is even when he would sleep, he would keep a notepad right by his bed. So whenever the things would come to him, he would just jot them down. What you're going to do is synchronicity logging. So you keep a log of everything that occurs, even if it's something little, like, for example, let's say that your goal was to make $20,000 a month, and that's what you were focusing on with this technique. And then tomorrow, you have a new or unexpected meeting that occurs. Well, the address is 20 Southwest Main Street. That is a synchronicity. The address of where you're going is 20, which is also your goal of 20,000. So you're logging all of these little synchronicities that occur. And when you're doing this, it's similar to how you render the graphics in a video game. Once you take the character, you move the joystick on a certain side of the environment, then the graphics render. When you are synchronicity logging, you are rendering the future. So what you're doing is you are priming, training, or prepping your mind to start to see the new frequency patterns that you have started to dial into. So there you have it. This is Nikola Tesla's hidden war. The war for frequency, to keep your bandwidth, to keep your consciousness trapped in lower dimensions. And when you are trapped in these lower dimensions, you cannot unlock the supernatural abilities of your own consciousness. And when you follow this simple technique through, you can start to re-render or reshape your own reality. Make sure, if you haven't yet, you get my free success hypnosis. It's jakeshypnosis.com. It's pinned to the comments and in the description right there down below. It's my free success hypnosis to reprogram your subconscious mind. So check that out. And if you haven't yet, make sure you hit the subscribe, bell notification, and you can click right here to watch my Nikola Tesla 369 Divine Codes video.